right, well, welcome back to the Farm Life Show. It's Blaine and Blake Hitzfield here at Seven Sons, and it's been a while since we sat down to do another episode. So
welcome back.
Yes,
it's been a busy year, Blaine.
It's been really busy, and so that's what we're going to do today. Is just a recap. We're going to call this the summer 2020-22 summer update. And so we're just going to cover some of the biggest things that have happened this year since we've done a Farm Life Show here at Seven Sons. And one of the biggest changes we're doing with this actual podcast and YouTube show is we are going to reposition this as if, in which we are. We're speaking both to our customers, but also other farms that are listening in. We've noticed that since we started doing these episodes, a lot of other farms from around the country and different countries are following us. And so we really like to gear these episodes for those farms to provide helpful information about what we're doing. And we want to invite our customers to listen in because it's an awesome way for you to understand what we're doing, stay up to date, and get a really inside scoop on what's going on.
What's it like on the farm?
Exactly. So with that said, Blake, let's start with some of the biggest updates, biggest changes that have happened here since January at Seven Sons.
It's fun to go through this process because you don't realize how many things change in a short period of time, just 6 months.
Well, just looking at some of the items we have here, it's no wonder we haven't had time to sit down to do an episode. So, Blake, I think the biggest update really is starting in January, we had 0 lambs on our farm.
No lambs,
do we have?
No sheep.
Yeah, how many do we have today?
So total between mama ewes and the baby lambs, we have about 1,300, and we're having more. Seems like every day. The flock is growing really fast. So that's a huge change for us on our farm.
Yeah, so for other farms listening and for our customers, so why did we make a transition to bring lambs on to our 550-acre farm?
Yeah, so, I mean, we want to have different species on our farm, livestock, classes of livestock. So, that was always something that we're striving to do. And we want to make sure that we have the people resource to do that. And our farm is blessed with a great team of people here. And we have the bandwidth to take that on. And so we wanted to do it from that standpoint, just from the diversity. But then sheep are very efficient grazers. Yeah. They do a great job at converting that grass to protein. From that efficiency standpoint, that was one of the bigger reasons we wanted to make that shift. We're still running lots of cattle here on the farm. We're running them with the sheep as well, calling it the old flurd.
So cross between the word herd for cattle and flock for lambs. So we're coming up with the flurd term. So it's going well. We've learned a lot of lessons. Obviously, when you just kind of jump into something new, there's a learning curve to it. And that actually made me super nervous when you mentioned how soon all the lambs would be coming, and the fact they would be, the ewes would be on the ground, the lambs would be coming really quick, be born very quick. So, what were some of the biggest challenges leading up to getting these lambs, and that you've had so far since January?
So some of the biggest challenges, our farm wasn't set up for sheep. So when you talk about bringing this many sheep and lambs in, we had from an infrastructure set up, we have the water line there already. We have a lot of fencing, but that fencing has been set up for cattle. So we had to go through and put in a lot of woven wire, add more high tensile wire for electric fence. Altogether, we have put up about 6 miles of fence, or redone 6 miles of fence. So taking down some fence, put up some new fence.
That was a big project.
Yeah, we had to put a bridge across a couple of creeks because sheep don't like to get their hooves wet. And
they're like a cat, right? They're going to jump around water.
Like a reverse magnet.
They will not go through water.
So just infrastructure-wise, that was a huge undertaking to be ready to start grazing the sheep this spring. So that was one. Something else was just learning the whole lambing process. That was completely new to us. So we just kind of jumped in head first. And, when they started lambing, we were getting 30, 40 lambs a day. And it's just hard to keep track of that many. And you really can't.
That's a lot of new babies every day.
There's a lot of new babies. So we had some challenges there, just learning just that bonding, how important the bonding relationship and that time is, and not to do anything to mess that up. And they're hardier than you think. They actually do a great job with lambing, even if it's cold. We had a lot of lambs born in the snow, and
I know. I remember that when you told me the lambs were here and we got those late snows.
Yeah, they did great. And I kind of did an experiment. I put some in a barn so they had some shelter, and left some outside, and there was better bonding outside with the new lamb and the mom than there was inside. There's just more competition when they're closer together, which makes complete sense. Our minds think, oh man, we got to keep them out.
We got to control the situation.
Yeah, got to control it.
Mother Nature had this figured out long before we got involved in raising animals. So.
Yeah, so it's amazing just how hardy the little lambs are. Within 30, 40 minutes, they're up. Have nursed already, and they're following mom around and through the snow.
It was fun. You actually brought one of the lambs up to the office here.
I did. I didn't tell anybody. I just brought them up.
Yeah, that was fun for all the team. So what breed are we raising?
So this is Dorper primarily. They call it a commercial Dorper flock, so it's not purebred, but primarily Dorper. So it's a haired sheep, so they're shedding off naturally, so we don't have to worry about shearing them or anything like that.
Right. So the farms that are listening are very familiar with this breed and the difference there. But yeah, most sheep, what people would think of as a customer, you think of a wool lamb, a white wool lamb, but these are actually, I think they look more like goats than they do sheep.
We've had several people stop by the farm and be like, "Hey, you got back in the goat business." I'm like, oh no, these are not goats.
Yeah, we did have 100 goats at one time, but we don't want to go on that rabbit trail. So we may bring goats back, but now that we have that 6 miles of
better fencing.
Yeah. At one time, when we had goats, the biggest disaster is that they got out on I-69.
Yeah, that was a Sunday afternoon, so it's perfect timing. I mean, no good time to get goats on the highway, but Sunday afternoon's even a worse time. But.
Yes, and so that we got acquainted with the sheriff's department, the state police department, and the the fire department.
Fire department and Fort Wayne Police.
Yeah.
So
it was a fun day.
It was fantastic.
We decided goats, we were not prepared for goats at that point. But now we have better infrastructure with the lambs. Obviously, with over 1,000 lambs, we need to be prepared to keep those off I-69.
Yep. So.
All right. Anything else you want to share just for other farms listening on the lamb
I mean, if you're, the sheep market, the lamb market's growing right now in the United States. So there's a lot of interest. So just do your research. You want to take action, but do it in the right way so that
there's a lot of opportunity here for those. I mean, maybe some farms know this, and I don't know if many consumers know this, but in the United States, we import half of the lambs that we consume. Yeah. So we could produce a lot more domestically instead of importing over half of it.
Tremendous opportunity. So, yep.
All right. Well, and one more thing about lambs, Blake, there is talk of pretty big solar farms going in right here in this area, the Roanoke-Fort Wayne area, southeast Allen County. So that's one reason as well. We thought it would be a good idea to introduce lambs on so we could be prepared for possibly partnering with some of those solar farms to graze those areas.
Yep. Just want to be in the right position if the opportunity comes. So.
Yes. Okay. All right, another item, Blake, and this is of interest, I think, both to our customers and farms listening. We picked up on our farm tours. You're doing every 2 weeks. You're doing farm tours, customer farm tours.
Yeah, so we usually open them up 1st of June, and they go through September. It's every other week, every other Saturday, basically, and it's a great opportunity to just get people on the farm, get your customers there. A lot of them, for us, they're not always just customers. They're people that just found out about the farm tour, but want to come out and just have that time on the farm with their family. So,
and it's at least a 2.5 hour farm tour, and it starts with basically a soil health demonstration. So I like to say when we call this a farm tour, Blake, and you're doing these, and you do an excellent job, and I feel like they should be really positioned as a workshop. I mean, it's really a pretty intensive 2.5 hour workshop. We have a soil demonstration. Then we also take the customers out on the 2 mile or so trek on not a walk, but on the wagon tour.
It's the real deal. It's the backwoods, through the river, through the creeks. They get to see the workings of the farm, and we get to stop and see all the animals. It's not just hey, there they are off in the distance. We're going right up to them. But it's like a workshop that we condensed into about 2.5 hours. So
for a customer and just for farms listening that maybe aren't doing farm tours. So what is the cost on on a farm tour?
So we are $20 for an adult, and I think we're $10 for 14 under.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. All right. So there's the price, and really, we're not. And for other farms listening, the reason that we charge is really just so everyone's taking the farm tour serious. It takes a lot of work to gear up for them, and there's a lot of value being offered. But the real value is the knowledge and information that we're transferring to our customers, and building that trust. Our goal, you always say it every time when we start a farm tour. By the end of the farm tour, you want every customer who's come on that tour to know how to visit a farm and know whether that farm is actually implementing regenerative practices. No matter where you go in the world, no matter where you live, you can go to a farm and you can actually see for yourself. You know what to look for.
The principles apply no matter where you're at around the world.
Exactly.
So, yep.
Okay. Related to customer events, just a quick announcement. We're doing Farm Fest 2022, and that will be what day?
September 24th is what we have on the calendar.
Yep. So if you're a customer listening, September 24th. And again, this is an event where we have lots of fun activities. Yeah. We have live music. We have food vendors here.
Wagon tours out to see the animals. Mm-hmm. Pony rides.
Pony rides. Yep.
It's face painting for the kids. Pumpkin painting. All sorts of fun events.
Yep.
Last year we had a great turnout. Well over 1,000 people. It was really fun.
I think we're around 1,500 or so.
I think we were
more than that. Yeah. So it's just become a really fun community event, for the Fort Wayne area. And are we going to have free ice cream again? We had free ice cream the last 2 years. That's been a big hit.
It is a big hit.
And for farms listening, it actually has turned into a great event for exposing new families and people to our farm. Yep. I know that I like to help with the parking, because as the cars roll in, I get to talk to folks. And a lot of times I'll ask if you've been here before to Seven Sons. And 60 to 70% of the time that I'm talking to somebody, they have never been to our farm. So it's a perfect opportunity to introduce those.
It's their first experience here on the farm.
Yep. And even if they're not able to buy food here on an ongoing basis, they get exposed to the information, and that's important. So it's part of community outreach for us.
Yep, absolutely.
Another update here, Blake. You have been helping Grandpa with the bison, and so just kind of a fun thing that happened recently. We've basically done a bison harvest. You loaded up how many animals?
We sorted off 10 animals.
It's kind of a big event, right?
It is. We usually try to do it once a year because it is a big event. And bison, they're very calm out in the pasture, but they get a little stressed out when you get them into a corral or working facility. So we try to only do it once a year, but it's a big event when we do it from a standpoint of like everybody's ready to help.
All hands on deck.
Yeah, all hands on deck.
And I mean, there's a lot of safety precautions you have
Absolutely.
to take.
Not only for us working with them, but also for the bison, because they do get stressed out so much that they can hurt themselves if you're not careful. So
like if you visit the farm for a farm tour, you'll see the bison out in the pasture, and they're perfectly calm, and you can drive out there,
be on the wagon or on an ATV and go out there, and they're perfectly fine. They're calm, but as soon as you get them in a tight facility, they definitely respond differently, and that's just the nature of them. So.
Yes, yep. So it's our job to be smart about keeping things as low stress with our handling practices, and keeping the process low stress for the animals, safe for the animals, and safe for us.
The loading process went really good this year. It was the best loading process, went really smooth. We were able to just take 2 to 3 at a time, and they loaded straight into the trailer. Yep. So the team did a great job.
So just an update for customers and farms listening. What do we, how many bison do we have on the farm?
So we had like 49.
Okay. So it's not a huge portion of what we do, but it's kind of more of one of our more pilot enterprises. It's something that Grandpa started and really, really enjoys. So we love to be able to work with him, and it's a way that Grandpa is a part of the farming operation.
Yes.
So
you know what? He worked 70 years in excavating. He said when he retires, he's gonna buy a herd of bison.
Yep.
And
Grandpa's 86.
He followed through.
Yep. And he's really enjoying it, and so it's a fun part of what we do. It's a great highlight when we do our farm tours. So, one other item that has happened recently, kind of a newsworthy, is we've had some serious wind damage and some serious windstorms that have come through.
We had a storm come through that was probably one of the worst storms that we've had in the Fort Wayne area ever.
Yeah, it actually made national news. What was they tracked the wind at 95 miles per hour?
98 at Fort Wayne Airport, which we are just 10 miles south of the airport. We were right on the edge of it, so we did not get the worst of it. We were very fortunate. There was a lot of other people that had a lot of damage, and lost some buildings and some homes and things like that. So,
it was. It was around 11 a.m. or what was it?
PM.
10 p.m. when that was happening, and I was up just thinking about mainly the chicken houses that we have because of the high tunnel buildings and the way the wind can get underneath that plastic and really do damage. So what all happened? What would we end up with?
So we did have some damage, but we feel very fortunate. We lost one of our stationary winter hoop buildings that we have the chickens in for the winter.
We have four of those buildings, or three?
Three of those.
Three of them. And we just happen to still have hens in one of them. They're only going to be in there for another 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
And that was the building, of course, that got the wind damage.
Of course. So, So we had to kind of work around that and makeshift a way to get some feed to them and get them out. But luckily, Blaine, 0 hens died through the entire process.
Not a single hen.
Yeah. We were over there checking them at 1 o'clock in the morning after the storm went through, and they were just all roosted there,
perched where they normally would be. The ceiling is gone. The rafters are almost all the way bent down
to where they're roosting.
And they're just sitting there as calm as can be, like nothing, absolutely nothing happened. So
that was encouraging to see. But so we've got some work ahead of ourselves as far as replacing that building and getting it back ready for next winter.
So is that going to be a complete demolish?
I think we're going to start completely over. Yep, because there was damage all the way down the whole length of the building. It kind of pushed it apart. So we're gonna start new. So that'll be a summer project. Be ready for hens coming in there in September, November timeframe. Somewhere in there.
Okay, just to finish up here, this 2022 summer update specifically for other farms listening. One of the big projects that we have going on, kind of internally behind the scenes, is really working on making sure that our business is staying organized, both for our family and for the growing team of folks that we have here. So, a little resource I wanted to share for other farms is basically it's a business operating system called EOS. There's an awesome book written by Gino Wickman on this entire business system, and it's called Traction by Gino Wickman. And I'd encourage any farm that if you feel like you're kind of at that point where things may feel like they're kind of spinning out of control, and you're struggling to stay organized with maybe as you're trying to hire staff, this for us I think is going to be a big win. And it's not like we felt terribly unorganized, but as we think about the future, both for our family and for our staff here at Seven Sons,
because quality of life is number one.
Yes, and so we want to make sure for our family, and just as importantly for our staff, that we are providing a high quality of life, and that we are staying organized, so that we're fulfilling our commitments to our customers, and that we feel like this is just good timing for us to be proactive about the future. And so,
Blaine, not only are we excited about this as business owners, but the entire team is excited about this because they see the organization and structure that's coming in place.
For other farms or small businesses, if you're a customer, you have a small business, and you're listening to this, it's an awesome resource. So check it out. EOS Worldwide, if you want to Google it, check it out there. So, Blake, what are some of the big things we have coming up as we kind of move into the rest of the summer and into the fall? Obviously, we talked about Farm Fest will be a big project there. So.
Yep. We got another pond we're going to work on. Last year we worked on a pond. We got another pond that we want to try to drain and fix up. Just kind of better water holding capacity and things like that. So we're working on that. We got always on a farm. There's always fencing projects, so we'll be continuing to tweak that. And I think we're setting pretty good. We went through a year, 2 years ago, where we put up a lot of infrastructure, and this year be a little smoother sailing, I think, through the later summer, moving into the fall. So.
Okay. All right. Well, all right, Blake, thanks for sitting down for this update. And
you got anything personally you want to share? What's new? Personally?
Well, yes. So my wife and I welcomed 3.5, we're close to 4 months now old baby Houston, so our number 6,
nice
little baby boy. So yeah, that's been exciting. Number 6.
How's the family?
Good. I'm really thankful for just the family and team and support we have here, because I've been able to kind of reduce some of my work hours and provide the support.
Yeah, I would almost say you're working banker hours, Blaine.
Yep, a farmer working banker hours.
Yeah, how about that?
And I love it. So
I bet the kids love it as well. And,
Yep.
and your wife.
Yep, I think about as we kind of move forward here, and I think about the future. Would I regret, choosing to spend more time if we can do it, and it works well for staff and for family to be able to be home more? I don't think it's something.
How is that not a win?
How is that not a win? Exactly. So that's a little challenge out there, because for farmers listening, we can get overwhelmed, and we can get to the point where
we're notorious for overworking, and our businesses are running our lives,
and letting that stress trickle home to the family. So I'm just very thankful where we are with 6 kiddos. It's working very well, and we're loving it.
Yeah,
so
congratulations on being able to achieve that for sure.
Yep.
So.
All right. Well, that's it for this farm update. We'll be back. I don't know how soon, but we'll definitely be back with another update. And we would like to continue to record more podcasts that are geared towards helping other farms maybe duplicate some of the things we're doing, or at least just sharing some insights of what we're doing here at Seven Sons, the lessons we're learning. And for our customers to have the opportunity to listen in on these conversations. Thanks, Blake.
Thank you.